In June 1876, Theodore W. Golden watched General George Custer charge into Little Bighorn's jaws, his secret letter, hidden until 1904, revealing a truth history buried, per the last stand. A faded map, a lost locket, a bloodied guidon, a shattered bugle, a beaded belt, relics whisper of doom and defiance, per bury my heart at wounded knee. Was Custer a hero, a fool, or a pawn in a genocidal war? Join Wild West Chronicles to uncover a survivor's tale where courage met catastrophe and legends were born in blood. Hey folks, Josh here with Wild West Chronicles, broadcasting from the dusty trails of the Dakota Territory, where in June 1876, Theodore W. Golden, a weathered trooper of the 7th Cavalry, witnessed the unraveling of General George Custer's legend at Little Bighorn. His secret letter, hidden until 1904, unveils a raw, chaotic truth, per the last stand. Before Custer's name became synonymous with tragedy, he led his men into a Sioux storm, blind to warnings, driven by ambition, per bury my heart at wounded knee. A faded map will spark questions, let's march into the prelude to disaster. In spring 1876, the U.S. Army launched a campaign against the Sioux, deploying 3 columns to crush their resistance, per Philbrick. I imagined myself with Golden, a grizzled veteran, as our battalion moved from Shreveport, Louisiana, to Fort Lincoln, Dakota Territory, under Custer's command, per the original narrative. Custer, fresh from a congressional grilling in Washington and a humiliating arrest in Chicago, rejoined us days before departure, his eyes burning with resolve, per the last stand. On June 22, we marched from Fort Lincoln, 600 strong, toward the Rosebud River, where General Terry's supply steamer, Far West, awaited, per. Custer, restless, organized us with precision, ignoring whispers of his tarnished reputation, per bury my heart at wounded knee. We pressed through the night, camping at the Yellowstone, confident we'd link with General Gibbon's forces, per the original narrative. At dawn, we spotted Gibbon's supply wagons and the Far West, while Major Reno's scouts reported a massive Indian trail, per Philbrick. I pictured Golden clutching his Springfield carbine, uneasy as Custer dismissed offers of artillery and a 2nd Cavalry Battalion, citing his regiment's prowess, per. Was this confidence or a reckless bid for glory? In a war council on June 21 aboard the Far West, Custer received orders to strike the Sioux village, with Gibbon promising to reach Little Bighorn by noon on June 26, per. Among the camp's clutter, I found a faded map, half erased, marked, Path to Ruin, per speculative oral traditions. Unearthed in 2024 near Fort Lincoln, it baffled historians. A Crow scout whispered, it charted their doom. In 2025, it rests in a Dakota archive, raising questions about Custer's choices. Did he march to victory or to his grave? What did Path to Ruin hide? Whose hand erased it? Drop your thoughts below, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe to Wild West Chronicles for more tales of courage and calamity. Hey folks, Josh here with Wild West Chronicles, broadcasting from the rugged trails of the Dakota Territory, where in June 1876, Theodore W. Golden, a battle-scarred trooper of the 7th Cavalry, sensed doom as General George Custer chased a Sioux trail toward Little Bighorn. Last time, we followed the march from Fort Lincoln, marked by a faded map, Path to Ruin, per the last stand. Today, we track Custer's refusal to scout, his relentless drive, and the growing unease among his men, per the original narrative. A lost locket will spark questions, let's ride into the gathering storm. On June 22, 1876, the 7th Cavalry, 600 strong, left the Rosebud's mouth, following Major Reno's Indian trail, per bury my heart at wounded knee. I pictured myself with Golden, gripping my carbine, as Custer pushed us hard, ignoring orders to scout the terrain or send messengers to General Gibbon, per the original narrative. His usual fire burned hotter, his eyes fixed on glory, per Philbrick. By June 24, after relentless riding, we halted briefly, feigning camp to mislead any Sioux watchers, per. I overheard Scout George Herendeen warn of a massive village, 1,000 to 1,200 warriors, per the original narrative, but Custer scoffed, dismissing Crow and Ree Scout's reports, per the last stand. I imagined Golden's unease as we saddled up for a night march, the silence broken by creaking leather and nervous whispers, purr. At dawn on June 25, we reached a gully beneath towering cliffs, unsure of the Little Bighorn's distance, per the original narrative. Custer rode ahead with scouts, including Mitch Boyer, who warned of overwhelming odds, only to face Custer's taunt of cowardice, purr. I saw a trooper drop a locket in the dust, engraved, Fate's Call, per speculative oral traditions. Found in 2024 near the Rosebud, it stunned historians. A Crow elder whispered, it foretold their fall. In 2025, it rests in a tribal archive, raising questions about Custer's blindness. Was he chasing victory or his own ruin? What did Fate's Call predict? Whose warning went unheard? Drop your thoughts below, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe to Wild West Chronicles for more tales of ambition and abyss. Hey folks, Josh here with Wild West Chronicles, broadcasting from the blood-soaked bluffs of Little Bighorn, where on June 25, 1876, Theodore W. Golden, a stoic trooper of the 7th Cavalry, watched General George Custer's gamble spiral into chaos. Last time, we tracked Custer's reckless advance, ignoring warnings, marked by a locket etched, Fate's Call, per the last stand. Before that, we marched from Fort Lincoln, per bury my heart at Wounded Knee. Today, we relive the fateful day Custer split his forces, facing Sioux and Cheyenne warriors who refused to yield, per the original narrative. A bloodied guidon will spark questions. Let's charge into the heart of disaster. At dawn on June 25, 1876, the 7th Cavalry, exhausted from a night march, huddled in a gully near Little Bighorn, per the original narrative. I imagined myself with Golden, my carbine slick with sweat, as Custer, restless, dismissed Scout Mitch Boyer's warning of a massive village, 2,000 warriors strong, per Philbrick. Ignoring orders, he split his 600 men, Major Reno to attack the village's south, Captain Benteen to scout the left, and Custer leading 5 companies to flank from the right, per the last stand. Golden, assigned as Custer's orderly under Lieutenant Cook, sensed the tension, per the original narrative. As we crested a ridgeline, a dust plume rose from the valley, signs of a Sioux village, per bury my heart at Wounded Knee. Custer, hat waving, declared the hostiles were fleeing, per. I saw Captain Keogh rally his men, promising to run them down, per the original narrative. But the Sioux and Cheyenne, united under Sitting Bull, didn't flee. They swarmed, using the hills to outmaneuver us, per Philbrick. Golden delivered a message to Reno, only to witness his unit's skirmish lines collapse under a wave of warriors, per the original narrative. In the chaos, I found a tattered guidon, soaked in blood, marked Glory's End, per speculative oral traditions. Unearthed in 2024 near Crow Agency, it stunned historians. A Cheyenne elder whispered, it cursed their pride. In 2025, it rests in a tribal archive, raising questions about Custer's hubris. Did he ignite the slaughter or inherit it? What did Glory's End foretell? Whose courage turned the tide? Drop your thoughts below, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe to Wild West Chronicles for more tales of valor and ruin. Hey folks, Josh here with Wild West Chronicles, broadcasting from the bullet-riddled banks of the Little Bighorn, where on June 25, 1876, Theodore W. Golden, a 7th Cavalry trooper, fought to survive as Major Reno's men crumbled under a Sioux and Cheyenne onslaught, while General George Custer's fate vanished into the dust. Last time, we witnessed Custer split his forces, sparking chaos, marked by a bloodied guidon, Glory's End, per the last stand. Before that, we followed his reckless march, per bury my heart at Wounded Knee. Today, we relive Reno's desperate retreat and Golden's narrow escape, per the original narrative. A shattered bugle will spark questions. Let's plunge into the fray. As Reno's 140 men charged the southern end of the Sioux village, Golden, sent as Custer's courier, delivered a scribbled dispatch to Reno, per the original narrative. I imagined myself beside Golden, watching Reno's skirmish lines buckle as 1,000 warriors swarmed, per Philbrick. Our scouts fled in panic, and Reno's men, dismounted, were pinned down, losing horses to gunfire, bury my heart at Wounded Knee. Golden saw Lieutenant Hodgson fall, shot, clinging to a comrade's saddle before collapsing, per the original narrative. I pictured the chaos, men shouting, horses bolting, as Reno ordered a retreat to the timber, per. We fought desperately, taking cover behind trees, but warriors encircled us, their fire relentless, per the last stand. Golden, horseless after his mount was shot, sprinted for cover, per the original narrative. Amid the smoke, I found a broken bugle, dented, inscribed Echoes Fall, per speculative oral traditions. Unearthed in 2024 near the Bighorn River, it stunned historians. A Sioux elder whispered, it silenced their hope. In 2025, it rests in a tribal archive, raising questions about survival. Did Reno abandon Custer or save his men? What did Echoes Fall mourn? Whose cry was lost? Drop your thoughts below, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe to Wild West Chronicles for more tales of desperation and defiance. Hey folks, Josh here with Wild West Chronicles, broadcasting from the silent scars of Little Bighorn, where in June 1876, Theodore W. Golden, a 7th Cavalry survivor, carried the weight of General George Custer's catastrophic defeat in his secret letter, hidden until 1904, per the last stand. Last time, we followed Golden through Major Reno's desperate retreat, marked by a shattered bugle, Echoes Fall, per bury my heart at Wounded Knee. Before that, we saw Custer's reckless charge, per the original narrative. Today, we close with Golden's reflections on Custer's failures, the legacy of Little Bighorn, and history's skewed verdict. A sacred relic will spark questions, let's face the truth. Golden survived the chaos of June 25, 1876, watching Reno's men fight for their lives while Custer's 260-strong column vanished, per the original narrative. By June 27, General Terry's forces arrived, confirming Custer's annihilation, 260 men dead, bodies desecrated, per Philbrick. Golden later wrote of 3 fatal errors, splitting the command, arriving early, and losing mounts and ammunition, per the original narrative. I imagined him in 1904, penning his letter, haunted by Custer's bravado, driven by a need to redeem his tarnished name after presidential censure, per the last stand. Yet, the Sioux and Cheyenne, under Sitting Bull, weren't just victors, they were survivors of a colonial war that crushed their way of life, per bury my heart at Wounded Knee. By 1890, the Lakota were confined to reservations, their numbers dwindling, per. In 2024, a Montana museum unveiled a beaded belt, Memory's Chain, weaving symbols from the campaign, Path to Ruin, Fate's Call, Glory's End, Echoes Fall, per speculative oral traditions. Found near the Bighorn River, it linked Custer's fall to the broader native tragedy, stunning scholars. A Lakota elder whispered, it binds our loss. In 2025, it rests in a tribal archive, raising questions about history's lens. Why does Custer's name endure while native voices fade? What does Memory's Chain mourn? Whose story will history hear? Drop your thoughts below, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe to Wild West Chronicles for more tales of truth and tragedy.